You're currently watching
dunkmanyoshi TV.
What's going on, guys? ダンクマンヨシです。ステファンカリーが左手を骨折してから、チームの関係者は彼がシーズン中に戻ってくるとか来ないとかコメントしてるんですけど、そのステファンカリー自身が今回この彼の怪我についてインタビューがあったので、その動画を和訳しました。それではどうぞ。
Hi, Steph. With what doctors are telling you about your hand injury, do you expect to play again this season? And then do you want to play again this season?
Yeah, heavy hitter right out the gate, huh?I definitely expect to be ready to play. I don't know when, but at some point in early spring. It's just a matter of the rehab process. I've never obviously broken anything and dealt with a hand injury like this, and so as you go through all the examinations and all that type of stuff, and when surgery was required for this to even have a chance to heal properly.That's a tough blow, but understanding there's a time frame where we can kind of measure the rehab process and then figure out what the rest of the year looks like. I'm excited about the potential that the rest of the season isn't lost. I came here for y'all. If y'all got to leave.
Stephen, have they said, is there any damage beyond the fractured hand? I mean, any nerve possibility damage there?
With surgery, there's always, from what I've been told, there's always potential for nerves to be irritated. I had a little bit of that. That's kind of why it took so long for the real diagnosis, because I had to do so many tests, because that was one of the symptoms when it actually happened. But with nerves, they're tricky.Depending on if it come back quickly or over a sustained amount of time, but and again with surgery and swelling and all that type of stuff, it's a possibility. So something to monitor as we go through this process. And obviously, when you're dealing with hands, that's where it gets tricky in terms of your feel and all that type of stuff. So you just got to be disciplined about that.Steph,
Coach Kerr said he thinks you're probably already bored. Have you given any thought to how you're going to kind of stay engaged with such a long-term injury?
Yeah, it's interesting. My ankle surgery is way back in the day. It was over the summer, so it's a little easier to kind of cope. Obviously, there's action every day. Watching games on TV at home is no fun. Obviously, I enjoy spending time with my family, but when you're out there missing, games, it's always tough. So I'm not good at just sitting down and resting, so I got to figure that out. And more so just encouraging the guys, being a part of, the vibe and the scene as much as I can. I won't travel as much early, but just trying to be present and help the young guys continue the mission that they're on and continue to get better every game, and giving what I can while I'm out.Yeah,
stuff building on that. How do you hope to kind of pick your spots to travel, and at what point do you see that being a possibility for you?
Not for a while. I have to go. Part of the rehab, I have to get a second procedure done beginning of December probably, and remove some of the pins that they put in there. So the swelling is going to be something that's be of utmost priority early in the rehab process to give me a chance to come back and get my range of motion back pretty quickly. So traveling is not in the cards right now, but I suppose hopefully when the new year hits, I'll be able to be on the road and progress quickly in terms of things that I can do on the court, in the weight room, all that type of stuff, and obviously be around the team as much as I
can.Steph, what do you kind of make of just all the injuries compounding this season? And it was supposed to be a season where you had a lot of output. How are you reconciling all these injuries with this season? How it's gone so far?
I mean, it's tough every year when you have guys go down. I don't know if it's any more than years past or the type of injuries and all that type of stuff, but it's you obviously want to be in a league where everybody is healthy, giving their best shot every single night, and When that doesn't happen, if you're one of the ones that goes down, you got to deal with it. You know, if you're a fan of the league, it's tough, but it is a part of the game. And, you know, I think at some point everybody goes through a little something, whether it's, you know, a short-term or long-term injury. But for the most part, you just try to keep your head up and, again, be as positive as you can in terms of how you interact with the team. And that's kind of how I'm kind of going through this process. But as a fan of the league, like I'm sitting at home watching games, you want to see, you know, the best of the best play, and it's tough when they're not available because of injuries. And I mean, the list is heavy again in terms of names, so it's tough. But you know, we'll all be back soon.
Given all the injuries and the opportunity that a lot of the younger players on the roster have, what are your thoughts on what you've seen so far, and are you ever watching for anything specific when you're watching your teammates?
I mean, I just love the fight. And in terms of, I think Coach Kerr mentioned it, you know, you're not just going to sit and just be okay with losing or whatever the narrative is. You know, they're out there fighting every single night. And, you know, if you keep the right mentality and perspective, it's the best thing in the world for a rookie to come in or for a young player to come in and have this opportunity to just play every night and get thrown into the fire. That's the best way to learn. It's the best way to grow. Again, the hardest thing to do is just to you know, stay positive when things are not going your way. But you know, you learn so much through these type of experiences. I had it when I was a rookie. We weren't playing for anything in terms of our in terms of the standings, you know, except for Don Nelson's record. But in terms of like just every night, it was about how can you get better? How can you take another step in the right direction? We have the opportunity to not only do it on a personal level where each individual is trying to get better, but how we all play together. Because there's going to be a lot of guys going forward, you know, not just the rest of this year, next year, the year after, that are going to be huge pieces to what we do. So everybody has to have that right perspective, but it all starts with just competing and having fun. And I've seen that just coming through the TV when I'm watching, you know, at home. And that's what you love to see as a part of the team, as a fan, and whatever.
Steph, just looking at what you have on your arm, like the bandage and the stabilizer, what's your day-to-day been like, just as you go about your life?
It's weird because I'm mobile. I can go wherever I want to go, and just sometimes you need a little help tying your shoes and putting on your sweatshirt and stuff like that. But other than that, it's you know, it's not much I can do now in terms of rehab because we're letting things heal. But spend a lot of time with the family while the team was on the road, and thankfully I live in Cali and the weather's nice and get outside. That's about it. Just trying to find things to, you know, keep me occupied until I can actually get going.
Have you replayed the play in your mind at all? And can you kind of take me back to that night a little bit? Did you know right away it was like how serious it was, and then maybe the 48 hours after that?
Yeah, I've seen the play plenty of times, and you kind of have that situation happen a lot where somebody tries to take a charge and you land, and I've been in that situation plenty of times. Nothing's happened. It's just the timing of the fall, and when I landed, it just didn't go my way. So it hurt, but I knew when I couldn't really move my fingers that it was something serious. And sometimes you go in denial mode where you're trying to shake it off. But I went to the bench and I kind of looked at it for a second. It didn't look right, and knew right away at that point that it was broken. But at that point, you just call as many, you know, specialists as we can find to get as many opinions on exactly how extensive the damage was and what the right move would be in terms of surgery or not. You know, in that first 48 hours, and Dr. Shin down in LA was taking great care of me. I know he has a nice list of guys that he's worked on, you know, recently, and just according to kind of his diagnosis and the work that he did in the surgery, it should be a full, successful healing, you know, in due time.
From watching, what's your read on Eric Paschall and some of these young guys and what they can do going forward?
A lot of potential, and they're showing it right now. You know, Eric, in terms of just his composure and his presence on the floor, obviously when he gets it going, he's demonstrative, and he knows he belongs, and he knows he has a lot to offer, and it's just it's an energy that's contagious, out there on the floor. Obviously what D'Lo's doing is unreal in terms of his output, putting the ball in the basket, putting pressure on defense every single possession, keeping us in games a lot, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to sustain that all year. And even like a guy like Jordan, who offensively he wants to shoot the ball better, but the other things that he's trying to do, competing on the defensive end, making the right play, keeping the game simple, all those things is you focus on the bright spots and know that they can continue to build. It's gonna be fun, man. So just watching Mari's energy off the bench, Kai's Kai don't even look like a rookie out there. He looks like he belongs, and he's got great energy. So everybody showing something there, and they're competing and they're doing it together. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Maybe you could just repeat again. You were eyeing to return in spring, but it wasn't looking like that was the case. Or could you say that again? I'm sorry, I didn't.
In 3 months, I would get reevaluated, which was kind of a good measure of how long this injury takes to heal. And then from there, depending on how the rehab process goes, whether it's a little faster, a little bit more delayed, I'll know exactly when I'll be able to get out on the floor. But 3 months from now, what's that? February, it gives me some time to be back on the floor and not hopefully lose the whole season.
Steph, just physically, what are you able to do? Have they told you not to shoot with one arm, or are you lifting with one arm, or what?
A lot of it's just making sure I don't put any stress on my arm so that the bone has a chance to heal. You don't want any extra trauma, flailing it around, doing all that type of stuff, even though it's in a splint. But the good part is obviously having my lower body to kind of work. I've been getting a lot of good work in with Rick, and kind of treating it like a mini off season where you have 3 months to work on your body. Obviously get some rest, but build a new foundation for what type of player I want to be coming back from this injury, and hopefully not missing a beat in terms of my rhythm and even being better than I was before I got hurt. So that's the exciting part. It's like I gotta wait for this to heal, but I can do a lot of other stuff to make sure when this is ready to go, my body is already in a good place to just hopefully get out there on the floor and play.
Steph, on this day 10 years ago, you tweeted out the following: "Promised all Warrior fans we will figure this thing out. If it's the last thing we do, we'll figure it out." I'm curious if you remember.
My best tweet ever.
Do you remember sending that out?
I don't remember where I was. I definitely remember sending it out though. Raymond could probably tell me what city I was in. You have to give me that answer. I'll get you a better answer for it, but that was a good tweet for sure. And it said we, not me.
What do you think of the way things have gone from sending that tweet out to now?
It's been a great journey. It's not over yet. That's the fun part. But 10 years is kind of a good lens to look back and see all that we've accomplished. And it's exciting to think about me I didn't really know what I was talking about as a rookie, but I had a lot of confidence in myself and what I could do on this level, and obviously the guys that I eventually got to play with to do it at that high level. So unbelievable experiences that hopefully there's more to come.
Stephen, what if you and Clay are cleared to resume activities, say, last month of the season? What are the pros and cons of coming back to spend the last 4-6 weeks in the season?
Probably mostly just to understand, the chemistry with the young guys who have gone through a lot of games and really understand what this league is about and what it's going to take to play at a high level. And you can even play around with rotations and just get a vibe of what the following season, when we're all healthy, looks like. I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about it much because a lot can happen in 3 months. The boys might, surprise us and go on a crazy run, and might be talking about something different. You never say never, so it's a matter of just kind of just waiting and seeing and taking it a day at a time. But when we get there, just playing basketball. I love to play basketball. I love having fun. I know Clay does too. We're like some caged animals right now, ready to get unleashed back to what we do. So, selfishly speaking, it would just be fun for both of us just to play basketball.
今回は以上になります。ご視聴ありがとうございました。動画のいいねとチャンネル登録、そしてもしよかったら通知オンにしてください。質問や感想がある場合はコメントを残してくれたら嬉しいです。Alright, see you guys in my next video.